Tonight I'm riding a black unicorn. Greetings and welcome to the October 2019 Voltaire video newsletter. You know, I probably should have, primped or something before I started making this video because I looked god awful. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana for a private show here tonight at the Logan Mansion. And just figured I'd take a stroll through the cemetery and tell you a little bit about what's coming up in October. October's almost done. I'm so out of my mind that the September video newsletter, which I filmed in Russia, was filmed in October. And I was like, hi, welcome to the September video newsletter. I just got a lot of things going on. I guess I'm distracted. I guess you could say I'm distracted. In any case, so it is definitely October. I have some more shows coming up this month. On Sunday, I'll be performing in San Antonio. What date is that? The 27th? The 27th. I'll be in San Antonio, Texas at the Bonham Exchange. That's going to be a fun night. You should come out for that. And then the 30th, Devil's Night, I will be in New Orleans at the Goat right here in Louisiana. I should just stay. And then 31st, I don't have a show on Halloween. I'm flying back to New York City that day, so I got to figure out what I'm doing. Which reminds me about Gothic Homemaking, but we'll get to that later. And then the next week would be the 9th and the 10th. I think the 9th is a Saturday, and if that's the case, then I would be performing at Steampunk November in... Oh, the bells are chiming. For whom does the bell toll? Bell tolls for thee. Where was I? I am going to be performing in Steampunk November in Mansfield, Texas, the weekend of the 9th, the Saturday, whatever that Saturday is. I think it's the 9th. And then the next day will be Sunday. And of course, if it's Sunday, it's time for church. As the bells toll yet again. And church in Dallas is my favorite club to perform in Dallas, the Church, otherwise known as the Lizard Lounge on all other nights, and I will be there on the 10th or the 11th, whatever the Sunday is. Then, my next show after that is Mexico City. I'm going to return to Mexico City, and I'm going to play at Foro Cultural Ilvana on November 23rd. And if I'm not mistaken, that's all of the shows that I have booked for the rest of the year. But there's a lot of other stuff going on. Obviously, Gothic Homemaking. I've been trying to make a new episode of Gothic Homemaking every single week for the whole rest of the year. And gosh, you know, Halloween really snuck up on me, and I feel terrible because I really wanted to do like a big Halloween special like I did last year with a bunch of monsters, and I just don't think there's going to be time anymore. Because I've spent the entire month making these Halloween haul videos. You know, I've done reviews of Michael's and Joann's and TJ Maxx and Home Goods and At Home and Spirit Halloween and so many of these stores. It just ended up eating up the entire month. So I don't know what's happening for Halloween. I'm going to try to make some kind of a Halloween episode of some sort, but I just don't know. And then we get into November, and then the hauls are done, which is nice, so I can focus back on stuff like DIY projects and things like that. I'm not really the one to like follow trends on YouTube, so I've like hesitated to do things that people have requested for, like reaction videos and makeup tutorials and you know, Gothic fashion brand stuff. But I think it's inevitable. I want to do a get with me. That's not what I want to do. I want to do a get ready with me video because I don't do a very good job of putting my makeup on, but I have a lot to say about why it's important for men to be able to wear makeup without, you know, being called names and without being bullied and harassed. And talking about some of my heroes who wore a lot of makeup, like David Bowie, for instance. So I might do one of those and, you know, just tie it into, like, the people ask where I get my clothes and stuff like that. And I might just do one video like that in November. And then there's a lot of other interesting topics, actually, that I want to cover in Gothic Homemaking in the months to come. And then, yeah, like I said in the last video, I'm not sure what's happening after December 31st. I may discontinue Gothic Homemaking. I might take a break from it, or who knows, I might ramp it up and make it bigger and better than ever. I just don't know. Because then after that, you know, in 2020, I have that sort of odd travel show, A Light in the Shadows, that I need to edit a ton of footage for, you know, footage about searching for orangutans in the jungles of Sumatra, and footage about death burials in Sulawesi, and a place where they don't bury people at all in Trunyan, Bali. So there's a lot of interesting footage that's already been filmed, you know, mummies in Mexico, things like that. So I want that show to come out sometime in 2020. So we'll see. So I'm working on that. And then musically, I just finished a single. It's called Chupando. It is a parody of the Enrique Iglesias song Bailando, which means dancing, but my song means sucking. It's not what you think. It is a vampire parody. It's about vampires. And I've just finished recording and mixing the track. It sounds so great. It sounds really, really fun. And my hope is to shoot a music video for it in Mexico City at the end of November. It was supposed to be the first week of November, and then it just wasn't enough time. So hopefully the end of November. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, you know, I plan to translate a whole bunch of my other songs for a Spanish language album that hopefully will come out in 2020. And then I've already started writing the songs for that record that I threatened to make, which is like an unofficial sequel of Labyrinth. It's called The Black Labyrinth. And I've already written 4 songs for it. And I'm so excited about them. You're gonna think this is so weird, but I guess after seeing the Queen biopic and then after seeing the Elton John biopic, I don't know, I got bit by the spirit of like that kind of grand rock music from the 70s, and I don't know, the songs are starting to sound a lot like Bat Out of Hell, really, like Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell. So I have to probably work on making it sound a little less like Bat Out of Hell and a little bit more like, I don't know, something ominous. But it is an homage. It's an homage to the Goblin King, and I'm very, very excited about those songs. You know what I'm less excited about? This. Oh man, that is so tragic. Somebody straight up broke into that crypt. When I walked over, I half expected to see a coffin with bones in it, but I guess the cemetery did the only proper thing to do, and they've removed the coffin and the remains. So a lot of human remains in A Light in the Shadow, I'll tell you that much. But the beauty of that show is that, you know, to alight means to land. And so the show is a pun, you know. Shocking for me, right? To alight in the shadows, to land in the shadows. Because it's about taking you places that are very, very dark and strange, and they seem weird, but they're not. And if you understand the perspective of the people who live in these places and how they feel about their culture and how they feel about their rituals, you understand that it's a lot of what they're doing is extremely respectful. You know, like in Sulawesi, where they pull their family members out of the tombs every 3 years and they clean them and they cut off their clothes and put new clothes on them. And I saw posts on Facebook, people were like, that's so disrespectful, whatever happened to rest in peace? Let me tell you, to these people there's absolutely nothing more respectful than being willing to open up your grandmother's tomb, pull out her corpse, clean her, comfort her, dress her, and put her back so that she may rest in peace, you know. So anyway, I found a lot of very, very fascinating things on that adventure, and there will be more videos that I'm going to film for that show, so there will be more adventures to be had. In any case, I got kind of off course there because I was talking about music. Chupando, the very first thing you're going to see, well, my patrons on Patreon already received the demo. They got that October 1st. I do exclusive content. I try to do it every single month. I think November's exclusive content is going to be a mix of, like a rough mix of The Tyranny of Distance. Not sure, but I think that's what's going to happen. So yeah, my patrons always get some kind of exclusive content, and so they've already heard the demo. It's gotten so much bigger and badder since then. You know, there's a horn section, and you know, Brian Viglione's playing percussion, and this great bass line. It's epic. It really is. In any case, so the very next thing that you're going to see of Chupando is I made a one-take video with my fiancée, Mayumi Toyoda, at the Lair of Voltaire, and we sang the song. You know, she sings on the song with me. So you're going to be seeing that very soon, probably like in a couple of weeks. And then the next thing that's going to happen is I will release the track, and then at some point after that, we will make the video. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a sarcophagus of some sort. This is a really amazing cemetery here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and it's sadly really, really, you know, it's destroyed in a lot of ways. And the thing that makes me sad, look, elements are what they are. You know, hurricanes are going to happen, tornadoes are going to happen, they're going to do some damage. Time itself will do damage to tombstones. I don't know if I ever told you the story about the time I put my hand on a tombstone and it fell over and broke into 3 pieces. That I was so distressed, and I went running through the cemetery trying to find the director, and I finally found somebody who worked there, and I was like, I have something to tell you. I've destroyed a tombstone. I placed my hand on it and it fell over and it broke. Actually, truth be told, wasn't me. I was taking a photo. My friend placed her hand on the tombstone, and it was on a slant like this, on a hill. And gravity took over, and all it needed was like just a little nudge, and it fell over and it cracked. And I found the director, and I said, I'm not wealthy, but I will pay whatever it costs to fix this tombstone. And he looked at me and says, this happens all the time. It happens all the time. You know, the elements, the wind, storms, they fall over, they break. So I was off the hook. I felt terrible. I was really off the hook. He was like, you know, we have teams of people who do our best. But this was in New York City, where, you know, they're really kind of doing what they have to do to keep the tombs in really nice shape. But what I'm seeing here, which makes me sad, is a lot of stuff that just looks like vandalism, and that just makes me really sad. You know, well, you know, I'm going to show you an example. So I'm performing tonight at the Logan Mansion, and I don't know, I'm going to have to assume that there's a relation here. But here are the Logan graves. And as you can see, they're all toppled over. This, I don't know, to me, that doesn't look like an accident. To me, that looks like some teenagers or some other hoodlums came in here and decided that it would be funny to knock over the tombstones. Like I said, look, I personally, my beliefs, which you don't need to share, of course, is that there is no afterlife. And my belief is that a dead body does not know what's happening around them, and that once you die, your body, I mean, like you know, people criticize folks like myself who own human bones. If when I die, someone's not using my skull as a candy dish, I'm gonna be so annoyed. If there is an afterlife, and if there are ghosts, I promise you, I will come back and haunt you if you are not using my skull as a candy dish or an ashtray. I don't really want it to be an ashtray, but a candy dish would be cool, especially on Halloween. In any case, I've been rambling like a fool out here. I basically just want to say hello, let you know I have a couple of shows coming up in October and November, and let you know I'm working very, very hard for you on Gothic Homemaking to make it something you can rely on seeing every week, and hopefully to make it entertaining for you. And then I'm working on the music. Chupando, you're gonna be hearing that very, very soon. Spanish album, the Black Labyrinth, all stuff that I'm working on. Oh, and then of course the plush toys. Hey, if you didn't get a Malicorn plush toy, we're down to like the last dozen or so on the website. So this is it. I only made 666 of them, and I'm never making any more. So get one while you can. And while you're there, you'll notice that I've made a new Candy Claus plush toy, and that is now in pre-orders. So you can place your order for a Candy Claus. And I have every intention of getting those in time for Christmas. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And the channel has grown so much. You know, it feels like only yesterday I hit 100,000 subscribers, and now it's like practically up to 150,000. I think I'm finally going to do that like Gothic apartment tour when I hit 150,000, which is soon, because I'm like at 144 or something like that. So share the channel if you think people would enjoy the kind of wacky stuff that you see here. Spooky, but fun and funny, and sometimes educational. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and have a safe and wonderful Halloween.